Thank you. Terry Cox-Joseph, 607 Berkshire Road, 23606. I have two hats to wear today. I have been a member of the Comprehensive Plan Commission and stayed out of all of this controversy. And the whole issue is whether to adopt the whole plan. And it's in general, it's a great plan. It's this thick. It's a lot of work has gone into it, a lot of studies. So in general, and there are so many places in the city that I learned about. It was wonderful. That hat says, go ahead, pass the whole thing. Now I'll put on a private citizen hat and say there are several things that have caught my attention, but I will only speak to one, considering the group here, and I know other ways to work with these issues. But this one in particular would be the city farmland. Our city has grown a lot, and in general, when people visit, they say, oh, look how many trees and how beautiful it is, and it's very different. I grew up in an older Midwestern city, and all the land was developed, so it was more urban renewal. This was very different. And when I first moved here, there wasn't as much development, and I thought, well, what's the big deal? It's just a few trees. Just, no, this can go here, that can go there. Well, now it's been 30 years, and it's gotten a little crunched. And what I really love is everyone here has spoken to the past, but I'd like to speak to the future. 20 years, 30 years, 40 years from now, the public art that has gone up is private, but the city has to maintain it. But I love that. We've got beautiful parks, we've got water access, we've got pretty much a balance, but we're veering dangerously close, if we haven't already gotten there, to being a monument to greed, and that's temporary. It's all temporary, and we need to look to the future, and that's one of the key words in the comprehensive plan. And so for the future, I would like to consider that there are other ways to fund such parks. They don't have to be, well, first of all, you've got your recreational centers, and we can afford to plan for those. Isn't this kind of the same thing? We can afford that, and it isn't going to happen tomorrow. Maybe the money to build up those banks there, the water's pretty rough, and that might take 20 years. I don't know. I think that private fundraising could happen. For example, Riverview Farm Park, all the little climbing equipment. I worked on those committees. The city doesn't have to spend that money. And I know it's hard because a developer comes in and says, I've got money. Who would not want to say, oh, look how easy that is. The city taxpayers can put in roads and help the developer and go half and half. But that land is really very precious, and we are running low on that land. And I would like to see it stay a park. We've already got Riverview. Keep the city farm open as a park. It didn't occur to me to stripe it. I mean, the whole thing, to strike it out of there until I heard people speaking. I didn't know quite what to do about it. That's kind of your job. But in general, I want to plan for the future and not for the next 5 years or where we can get some quick cash that might go in our coffers. I think this is a long-term issue. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Our next card will be Mr. Dale Goode. Dale?
My name is Dale Goode, and I live at 174 Lanita Lane in Newport News. I'm going to speak quick because I want to get all this in my 5 minutes. I think that even to the casual observer, it is obvious that Newport News does not use its waterfront property to any substantial degree to enhance our city's stature in the southeastern Virginia area. We continue to be a non-destination city, and that people generally drive through Newport News to either get to Virginia Beach or the Outer Banks and other pointies, or to get to attractions west of here, such as Busch Gardens and Water Country. I have done some regional traveling of late and have noticed the differences between our waterfront areas and those of our neighboring cities. A trip to Virginia Beach at First Landing State Park revealed the presence of the type of amenities that draw people to an area: boat ramps, kayak launching areas, a public beach, and walking and biking trails. There are many high-end homes around Broad Bay there, but unlike Newport News, much pristine land was also left for use by the general public. A little further away, attending a wedding at Southern Maryland's Leonardtown Wharf Waterfront Park showed the possibilities for masterfully converting a former industrial site into a truly magnificent community centerpiece for all residents to enjoy. We could have all of this at Riverview Farm Park. It has been documented, too, that we have not benefited from any lessons learned from our neighboring cities regarding sensible waterfront development. A document published by the City of Newport News Department of Planning in August 2013, Newport News Trends, Challenges, and Opportunities, is full of examples of how neighboring cities have rebranded their downtown waterfront areas into revenue-generating community gathering spots. Time does not permit citing all of the relevant statements in the document pertaining to the possibilities for waterfront development in our city, but I am providing a copy of some of the more profound revelations found in the document and would like to mention just a few of them here. Two that I'd really like to mention is this one. While Parks and Recreation Department manages a large amount of land across the city, protection from overuse, misuse, and impact from encroaching urban development remains a constant challenge. And the other one I'd like to mention is the city should better, talking about Newport News of course, the city should better promote its own plans by investing more in the downtown area and taking advantage of the economic growth potential that other cities such as Norfolk and Portsmouth have taken advantage of with their waterfronts. Again, that was from the planning department. Okay, but what we see now is not much has happened to develop our downtown waterfront despite hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on consultant fees to explore the possibilities. None of the artist renderings or video presentations showing what could be done to rebrand Newport News as a place to enjoy and visit have come to fruition. Of course, everything costs money, but as stated in the Newport News Trends, Challenges, and Opportunities document, quote, "It is imperative Newport News not enter into a downward spiral that many communities with declining populations and higher poverty levels experience," unquote. But, as it is, we have nothing to advertise to draw people to our waterfront areas. Unfortunately, this is kind of negative sounding, I know, but unfortunately, our major source of advertising comes from the daily press and television news stations in the form of reporting the constant gun violence that occurs in the city. None of the grandiose plans for our waterfront areas in most need of revitalization will come to fruition until the city replaces neighborhood justice with a criminal justice system that effectively responds to violence of epidemic proportion and protects the citizens affected by it. There are few signs of this happening. We need a comprehensive plan for making Newport News a safe place for all residents to live. Finally, with regard to Riverview Farm Park, the hard way to sensibly carry forward with turning Newport News into a highly desired place to visit is to work toward resolving the problems facing the city and rebuild where needed, i.e. downtown. The easy, insensible way is to destroy what could be a desirable multi-use community centerpiece of Newport News, the former city farm portion of Riverview Farm Park. To pave over and build on this land for the benefit of a few, which the understudy designation in the draft comprehensive plan is all about, would be a severe setback to enhancing of our city to attract and keep new visitors and residents.
Thank you, Mr. Goode.
Thank you. And, well, I'm out of time. If you want to find out how bad it can get if we don't take care of this violence problem, this book, Ghetto Side by Joe Leovi, tells you what happens in South Los Angeles. And it's not a pretty picture. And if you want to know more about what Newport News is actually mentioned in this book, Crime and Politics, and the efforts in the mid-'80s to do community-oriented policing, and it was working, and everything kind of fell apart, but they're interesting reads on that. So thank you for the extra time.
Hi, my name is Jeannine Christensen. I live with my husband and 3 kids at 291 Eastwood Drive here in Newport News, Virginia. Like so many of us, I'd like to emphasize that it was important enough for me to be here today that I changed my life. Right now, I'm a business owner. Right now, I'm actually paying somebody overtime so I can be here. That's how important it is to me. If you've ever run payroll, you know that's like the ultimate sacrifice, right? You got to pay somebody more money. And in addition, when people found out I was coming today, a lot of people were like, hey, great job, thank you. And 4 people specifically asked me to mention that I'm speaking for their concerns as well. Christopher Brooks, Lisa Ott, Mary Paya Morales, and my son, brand new voter, Jeannine Christensen. And those are all Newport News voters and residents. Like so many people here today, I'm here because I think that the city farm should be kept as public use, specifically as parkland, green space with the archaeological, can't think of the right word, artifacts, you know, honored, explored. And there's a couple of reasons why I think you guys should do that. The first reason is that obviously people have strong feelings about it, right? It is public land right now. It's our land. In preparation for coming today, I skimmed through some of the notes from the city council meetings. I think I just said that wrong. And I saw lots and lots of people, myself included, that took time out of their busy day, out of their busy life, you know, walk away from their kids, their businesses, to go talk about how much they want this land to stay parkland, right? I mean, this isn't the first time y'all are hearing about this, right? It's not like we're surprising you. And I did not see a single citizen that came up there and be like, hey, you know what I want? Big houses. Get me some big houses up there. Nobody's showing up to ask for that, right? This is our land, and specifically, you know, it's not even really our land. It's our kids' land, right? For me as a mom, I don't want my kids to move away. I own a house here. It's going to be hard for me to move if they move. I want them to stay. I want them to be in a place where there's green space, and they've got walking trails, and I want my kids to have a world-class city, so they stay, right? I mean, they're getting older. And the second thing that I wanted to call out is that, and I really don't want to be negative, please don't take this in a negative way. At this point in our city, it's been reported in the news that several members of city council, mayor, and I think a couple other people, have received money towards their re-election from the people who want to develop this land. That was reported in the paper. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. But at this point, if we go ahead and develop it with big houses and stuff, that could be the appearance of impropriety, right? I mean, I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about law. I'm just a small business owner. But going ahead and making more big houses could create the appearance of impropriety. Now, the last thing I wanted to call out is that when I go out, I live right over there, and when you drive through my neighborhood, you see all these signs, save the park, save the city farm, right? And my kids go to Menchville, and they've all gone door to door. A lot of the signatures on those petitions were Menchville kids walking around door to door, people signing it, saying, you know what, yeah, I do want that to be a park, right? And when you go out to the little existing park right now, if you walk out there, which I do sometimes with my kids, if you look all the way to the left, you know what you see? Big houses. You look all the way to the right. What do you think you see there? Big houses. And this isn't just a city for people with big houses, right? There's lots of people here in medium houses, apartments, small houses, and we all deserve access to that land, to the water. And thank you.